I'm Tony. He's Mike, and we are here to do a review on 2021's
2021.
The Curse, which is currently streaming on Hulu, so you can watch this one too.
We've all dreamt of a silver that has cursed this land.
Their son has gone missing. It may be connected to what you've been looking for.
This was Scott Reynolds' recommendation, who Scott's been on the show a couple times before. He was on when we did Crossroads and when we did the Halloween one. Scott is a horror buff. He recommended this one to both of us. We jumped at it.
And just so you know, Scott has watched 60 plus new horror movies this year. So if he gives a recommend, hey, check this out, we're gonna check it out.
Think E.F. Hutton. So,
E.F. Hutton.
You remember those old commercials? Well, my broker's E.F. Hutton, and E.F. Hutton says, and everybody in the restaurant stops and turns to listen.
I do not remember this.
Oh, well.
Well, if we can find something about that,
he's going to throw that shit in right there.
What does your broker say? Well, my broker's E.F. Hutton, and Hutton says, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
This was starring the guy that was in Narcos, season 1 and 2, the one about, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I'm pretty positive that it's him. But the rest of the cast, I recognize them all, but I don't know any of them by name. So it is all that guy from that thing and that lady from that thing.
I didn't recognize anybody in this thing, but it didn't matter.
No, this movie is exquisite. This movie is it's not a werewolf movie, but it is a werewolf movie. It's not a supernatural movie, but it is a
supernatural movie.
What's happening here?
Well, yeah,
absolutely supernatural movie. Strike that last comment.
Well, I'm just saying it's not a ghost story.
It's not a ghost story. Yes, I'll give you that.
But I'm going to say that this movie, it's the craft in this film is fucking impeccable. It has been so long, and as much as we gushed about The Wretched and the last horror film that we reviewed, which was
well, we did that. We did The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Yeah.
And then we did, I forgot, we'll throw it here.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
X.
Yes, X. As much as we loved Ty West's X, and that was a really great film, and him and I both agreed on it, this movie's better.
I'm going to disagree with you there, but I still like this movie. Go on.
At least for me. This movie, it's historically accurate. The horror is genuinely scary. There's some like legitimately creepy, skin crawly stuff. The gore, holy shit! When they go to the and I don't look. Spoilers. I'm sorry. This is me. I'm just saying. When they go to the gypsy encampment and they start butchering them, I was wincing. That's how believable those effects look. When they took his hands and his feet off, and I'm like.
It's an interesting thing to see how a scarecrow is made. Like, it's like, wow, that is really cool and creepy and up.
Yeah,
it's so good.
And the thing is that you think you know where the movie is going, and that's not where it's going. But then it gets into the weird up dream sequences, and it gets better and better, and it gets like more layers and layers and layers on top of it. It's such a well-told, complex story, and I can't imagine how you could have told this story any other way. And when we get to that final scene where they do not the final scene, but when they get to the scene where they do the autopsy.
Oh yeah, that was creepy.
Oh,
that was
wow.
so good. I was not expecting that at all. That was so good.
The craft in this film is so well done.
The special effects are great. The cinematography is top notch.
The acting, the
cast. The acting is great. So let's see. I mean, the setting is perfect, and the sets are perfect, like you said. It's spot on. It looks like something. I guess it's supposed to be the Victorian area.
Yeah, right in there. Yeah,
right in that thing. So I mean, the look is great. The buildings are great. I mean, they get the social status or rankings. all in line.
And hospitality and yeah, the where everybody here's your role. You are an aristocrat. You are a maid. You are a serf. And here's an educated man from lower birth, but he's given respect because he knows his shit. All that it all plays and intertwines beautifully.
And then with the gypsies, hey, we're actually encroaching on your land, but we're gonna say you're actually encroaching on our land, even though you have some legitimate claim to this land.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. No. And
it's ours now. And they get what's coming to them because of it.
yeah. And
The gypsy curse is
yes.
I love a good gypsy curse, man. It's the chef's kiss.
the motivations of every character in this film are explored. Every one of them has a solid story arc. It's creepy and wince-inducing, and it's engaging in an intellectual level that you don't see in a lot of horror films.
Yeah.
I was on board from like the first 2 minutes of this film. I was like there, and like literally, like this is one of those rare movies that people would walk in and try to say something, and I'd be all shh. Just go away. I'd come back when the movie's over. So, and I don't normally get that engrossed in a film that I don't give a shit about anything else that's going on. The only thing I wanted to hear about was like, hey, the house is on fire. Then I would have stopped watching it and gone out and done something. But I was all in on this one. So why are you thinking this is? You enjoyed it, but not to the level that I did.
No, I very much enjoyed it, and I rank it very high up there. I just don't. For me, it just wasn't as good as I shouldn't say as good as entertaining, I guess, because it's a slow burn, and this isn't going to be for everybody.
No.
So if you didn't like The Witch, it's not as slow as The Witch, but it's similar in certain ways.
In its pacing and tone, yeah.
Yes, and its pacing and tone is very much like The Witch. So if you have to have action right away, I'm
gonna say
it's there, but it's spaced out. There's long stretches between action and stuff like that, and there's some exposition, and there's character development, and all that stuff, which some people may not enjoy. We enjoy and appreciate that, but it may not be for everybody.
Yeah,
but at the same time, the other thing too that kind of took me out of it and where it doesn't was the CGI in some spots were kind of spotty. Like in the beginning, some of the creature effects weren't that great. They weren't as bad as Predator, but they were. Prey. Sorry,
Yeah.
Prey. Sorry. They weren't as bad as Prey, but they were getting kind of close. And just when you watch X, it doesn't have that same length of time. It's a much shorter movie.
Yeah.
But it's faster paced. The kills come along. You still get character development. I think if you're in for like a good 90-minute romp, X is where it's at.
Yeah.
If you don't mind investing a little extra time and enjoying some craft, this is rock solid, and you should absolutely watch this.
I agree with everything you're saying there. I was going to say this is not a film that's about kill count,
No.
even though there's plenty of them. There's a solid
is.
kill count in this film, but this is definitely more about the story than it is about the gore. It just so happens that the gore that's in this film is so incredibly well done.
Yeah.
So yeah, no shortcuts were taken on this
Yeah.
one. This is a director that had a story and a vision, and man, he stuck to his guns, and it pays off big time. And the sad part is that this came out right at the tail end of the pandemic, so it didn't get the recognition that I think it richly deserves. So check this one out on Hulu by all means.
And real quickly, the other thing I didn't like too, and this is more of a nitpicky thing, was it's kind of a clumsy, sloppy wrap up at the end. They kind of like hurried along, like, oh yeah, da 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 da, and this is how this ties into the very beginning of the movie.
I actually kind of got what I expected that they were going with that, and I knew that there was going to be a drop off in time.
But it's like they rushed it so fast, like
Yeah.
so it's very clumsily done, for me.
Just gonna say, to me,
But it's a nitpick.
I was gonna say, to me, it had that like they probably was a much longer ending, and the studio said, yeah, we need to trim this. And that's how we wound up with what we got. I would bet money on that one because that's exactly how it felt. That tell it in like you got 5 minutes to wrap this shit up and bring it all back together again.
They didn't even do it in 5 minutes. They did it in like 30
3
seconds. Like literally, like in the last 30 seconds. Oh yeah, da 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 da. This all ties back to the beginning.
Yeah. So
remember what happened in World War I? Here you go.
Big recommend from me.
Yeah.
So
No, it's still rock solid recommend from me. Again, these are nitpicks in what is a very, very good movie. So
I have no nits to pick. I was okay. None of it was distracting to me. It was competently well done enough for me to not be bothered by it. But he is right. There is a couple shots CG-wise that kind of like, that didn't look as good as it could have. But there's other shots that are like, holy, that was amazing.
yeah. And the scares are there. The atmosphere is there. The creepiness level is there. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah.
We said it. I'll say it again. It's a recommend. Watch it.
Craft matters, story matters,
All day.
characters matter.
Yes. It all matters.
Watch it. So, anything else?
No.
No?
See you next time. All right, you clap me in this time.
Is this wait? I thought I clapped you in. I thought I clapped you in
Oh,
for
it's a quick and
Hellraiser.
dirty. It's a quick and dirty. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll take all the claps. Then I get a shot in my dick.